Today's video is sponsored by the good folks at Reach.me, a new video response platform that allows you to get a private and confidential video message from your favorite YouTuber or influencer answering your personal question or problem. You can find my profile over at reach.me/Richard Cooper or download the iOS application. All you have to do is smash the Reach Me button, type in your question in this box over here, plug in your credit card information, and boom, you get your response when you send the request. Enjoy today's video.
What is up, my brothers from another mother? A bunch of you guys have asked me to do a video on dating cautions or dating cautions for guys in their 40s. I did one for guys in their 20s, card up in the top right of the screen, where I talked about basically working on yourself, figuring out your intuition, figuring out basically what you want to be when you grow up. And did another one for guys in their 30s, and that one was very well received as well. And that was basically, cautionary tale was watch out for baby rabies, because that can really ruin guys. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 40s tips. And basically, first thing I want to get into is I want to tell you a quick story about a dinner party I was at with a bunch of friends, and their wives were there. And I was recently, it wasn't recently, it was about 6 or 7 months after I'd broken up with somebody, and they were asking me about, setting me up with people and so on and so forth. And I learned the concept of what these women called the 6 6s. And it was new to me at the time. This may be new to you fellas as well right now, but if you just sit back and relax, I'll explain it to you. So what the 6 6s are that these women look for, and these are women that deem themselves to be high value, high caliber, and they look for these sorts of traits in men as well. Now, granted, a lot of the women that were in the room, they weren't, very high up on the scale, but this is what most women look for, just so you have a basic idea. So 6 6s are at least 6 feet tall, 6-figure income. I'm trying to remember them now. 600 horsepower car. I'm not sure why that matters, but I guess it signals something. 6 inches in the pants, and I think it was 6 months out of a relationship. So that's what women are looking for. Granted, I never slept with any of my friends' wives or anything, so I'm not sure why they thought I had 6 inches in the pants, but ladies that know, they know. But that's what they're looking for. So, they set fairly high standards, hypergamy again. So let's kind of talk a little bit more about hypergamy or hypergamy, however you want to pronounce it. But they always look to marry up. They always look to get the better deal. They always look for the security. So, you could be, the successful lawyer, doctor, accountant, entrepreneur, sport, whatever you are, but you meet the typical woman that you're going to meet around this age is usually going to be divorced or have kids from a prior relationship or marriage, most of them anyway. And then they're going to be doing more basic type of jobs. From my experience anyways, what I've come across, things like early childhood educator, hair and makeup artist. I don't know why women think that's a job. Hairstylists, government workers, things like that. Basic, down here basically. And what ends up happening is they kind of skip along down over here, and along comes, super dude. They meet with the 6 6s, and things change from them. They go way up here. And then they continue on until something maybe falls apart or doesn't work out in that relationship, and then there's a hard break. But ... after that, you could be liable for their lifestyle going forward after a hard break. Even though they were down here when you met them, you might be responsible to make sure that carries on. So women always look for that better deal to marry up, that hypergamous nature that's in them. It's the feminine imperative. There's also the very significant problem of many women in their 40s that are looking to be saved. They know that they've hit the peak of their sexual marketplace value and they're starting to decline. And what's the term that they use? They don't want to waste their pretty, is what I've heard them say. Don't waste your pretty girl on him, because you could find somebody else that's that will go for it, sort of thing. So what does that mean? Don't waste their pretty. Well, a good buddy of mine that I had met for the first time about 10 years ago, we're going to have a conversation, and he was telling me about, when he was in his 40s, he was tired of dating women that were tired of being saved. And I said, well, what did you mean by that? And he explained it, and I can think of several stories of women that I've met in the last 5 years. Okay, let's use, I'm not going to use a name, but let's use this example. Moved up from south of Florida, was an interior designer, wanted to rebuild a life in the Toronto area. So she moves up with her kid, of course, has full custody, made some really bad decisions in the guy that she met at the time when she had the kid with, and was looking for, I guess, you know, the white knight, Captain Save-A-Ho, whatever it is you want to call it, but she was looking for that better deal, okay? Along comes Rich, has the shit together, and she kind of starts sniffing things out. Now, this woman needed to be saved on a grand scale. Had full custody of her child, which implies, guys, that if things don't work out and you're in a long-term relationship, a live-in type of scenario or anything close to that, you could be financially responsible for her and the child over a longer-term basis, depending on where you live, how long you've lived together. So that's a big risk factor. The other problem is she's living here, doesn't have a job, didn't have any immediate prospects for a job. I don't know why she went out and leased a brand new BMW truck, but the other problem she had was, you know, she's one of these liberal type of feminist women that start telling you what to do. I remember we had a conversation a few dates in, and she started talking about bucket lists, and I was like, yeah, I got a bucket list. And she says, well, let me see it. So she starts going through it, and I remember she said something to me like, oh, you can't do number 17. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what's number 17? I haven't seen it in a while. And it was something like hunt and harvest a large animal in North America. It's on my bucket list. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to have anybody tell me what I can and can't do with my life. You know, by the time you get to this age, guys, you should be at the point where you won't compromise your value system, your belief system, you know, any bucket list items you might have that you want to cross off that are important to you for anybody, including a woman. Anyway, there was enough bad stuff that was already happening, or enough red flags that shot up, that was like, that's it, I'm done. You know, 4 or 5 dates in, we'll see you later. See ya. Man, I could come up with a whole bunch of examples. Whew. Here's another one. This one's good. Woman, okay, needed to be saved big time. 44 years old, stunningly beautiful, looked like Sandra Bullock, okay, beautiful face, reasonably fit body. The killer was she had 32 triple D real boobs, not fake, real boobs. Off the chart. Anyway, if you're a guy like me that likes boobs a bum, you're probably smiling too right now. But anyway, she needed to be saved on a huge level. 2 kids, was married prior. One was a special needs kid. I can't remember if it was autistic or something along that line, but somewhere on a spectrum that required a lot of special work. And an ex-husband, which she said was still living in the house, sleeping on the couch part-time. I suspect more like full-time. And then she started throwing things at me, like a few dates in, like, I need help with this, and I don't know how to fix this car repair, and I had an accident, and basically, you know, she's looking for Captain Save-A-Ho. So you need to be very, very clear, guys, at this age. If you're a high-value, high-status guy that has the 6 6s that many women look for, to filter out the women that are looking to be saved, the hypergamous women. You know, the best piece of advice my lawyer gave me when I met up with him, and we had lunch about a month ago, he was talking about a whole bunch of things, and I really wanted him to come on and do like a sort of like a live broadcast and give his best tips for men so they can avoid problems in the future, but he didn't want to alienate half his clientele, so I get that part. But he basically told me, you never want to date on a serious level down. Meaning, if you're, you know, CEO entrepreneur, you don't date on a serious level the hairdresser or the makeup artist or the early childhood educator. A lot of the women that are out there in the dating pool right now, in fact. He goes, you want to date around the same level, on an intellectual level, and especially on an economic level, because if things don't work out, government tends to, and this is in Canada that I'm talking about, but I know that a lot of you guys, this will echo and resonate because it's very similar around the world. Government, state will try to equalize things. Like I said, start off down over here, and then you can keep, you know, trying to maintain their life across here, even if there's a hard end. In scenarios like that, so he goes, you know, the best way to avoid that is, you know, you basically only consider dating somebody on a serious level if they're at the same level as you. So whatever it is that you're at, don't date down, guys. A lot of us are pretty dumb because we think with our dicks too much. And, you know, women will, like, some women know how to play it out a little bit. Like, you know, let's be honest here. They know how to play it out. They know how to manipulate the man because they know what we like. But if you've tuned into your intuition and you know yourself, know thyself, you know, as they say. And if you know thyself, you know, it's fine if you want to date them and kind of sniff them out. And if you're going to sleep with them, whatever, you know, you're kind of figuring it out. But if you recognize red flags are going up early on, then you're going to want to have a hard break. You're not going to want to keep, you know, dicking around with the whole idea or notion that you can fix them or that you can save them. Don't go and play Captain Save-A-Ho. that never ends out well. You talk to any family lawyer that's practiced family law for any given time, and they'll tell you the exact same thing. It never works out well for the guys, and there's a number of men that have been financially destroyed by choosing the wrong woman, by marrying down, just because they're pretty. And remember, sexual marketplace value, fellas, it continues to decline. Check the card on the top right of the screen where I talked about SMV in the past. It does decline quicker for women than what it does for men. So just be aware of those things. Those are my best tips for you guys in your 40s. I want to hear your comments below, gentlemen, if you have anything that I might have missed in the 40s or any best tips you'd like to share with the tribe, the community, as I like to call it. Smash the like button, and of course subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to continue to support my work here on YouTube, you can of course become a Patreon, the card's at the end. Or if you need one-on-one coaching on something you want to talk about. In fact, most of the coaching that I do nowadays with my coaching clients deals more with, well, a lot less to do with business and entrepreneurial startups and more to do with pointing to some facts that are sitting in their blind spot when it comes to considering marriage, their fiancés, live-in relationships, breakups, dealing with divorce, all those sorts of things. That's actually areas that I really tend to shine in and help guys out the most. So clarity.fm for that, or reach.me if you don't want to do one-on-one coaching. It's reach.me, and you can send me a big long email about what your question is, and I'll record a private video response just for you. Thanks for checking out the video. Have an awesome day. Peace.